Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Daniel Pineda.
My name's Adele Quo.
And here we go with another show. This could be, possibly, it is, yes, our last show in June 2015, about halfway through this year. So I hope you're bearing up under the heat wave. Come December, we'll probably be wishing for some weather like this, but we'll carry on. I hope all of your air conditioning units are working well. Our usual lineup here tonight, news and community bulletin board, and Adele is here with
It's Easy Being Green.
Talking about houses built from used construction materials
Trash
and trash
homes.
houses.
That's right.
I like that idea. That's a good one. CBB, as I mentioned, our news for seniors. Another installment in our multi-part series of Rich Remembers, and then Miriam Gennari and her guests. And that's our show. But before we go, a social media reminder from my partner.
Absolutely, Mr. Nolan. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News. And the number one.
Sorry.
Yes. And then also facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News.
All right.
Get your numbers right, Craig.
Got it. Close. Numbers are hard for me these days. All right, thanks, Daniel. Here we go with the first of our news items. Well, some information about RAPS, or the Roslyn, Western Roslyn area development. The county board will be advertising, there we go, much better, public hearings on the Western Roslyn Area Planning Study, or RAP, coming up in July. The goal of RAP is to find a way to create more open space, a new school with a gym and a playing field, a new fire station, a park, and more affordable housing in the western region of Roslyn. Arlington Public Schools is helping coordinate the planning efforts. The first meeting is coming up in July. It'll be on July 6th as part of the Arlington County Planning Commission agenda. You can find out more by visiting the Arlington County's website to learn more about the Western Roslyn development, period. Daniel.
Well, the county board, in conjunction with Greenbrier Learning Center, are providing an after-school enrichment center at Arlington Mill Community Center. GLC has been involved in kids' after-school activity programs since 1994, when it was created at the request of parents, teachers, and other community members. According to the Arlington County website, it has a superb track record at improving academic achievement and reading skills. Craig.
All right, Daniel. In other news, the Arlington County Board Planning Committee will hold public hearings on a proposed affordable housing master plan coming up this fall. The plan is the result of a 3-year community planning process. The goal of the plan is to increase the supply, accessibility, and sustainability of affordable housing in Arlington. The meetings are planned for September. The housing plan will be included in the county's comprehensive plan, which guides the overall development of Arlington County. Daniel.
Well, Craig, get your running shoes ready. The Let Freedom Run 5K will be this Sunday, and that means road closures. The road closures from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Wilson Boulevard will be closed from North Courthouse Road to North Rhodes Street. The following lane closures will be in effect between 7:45 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Wilson Boulevard from Route 110 to North Courthouse Road. Courthouse Road will remain open, and northbound Route 110 from I-395 to I-66 Roslyn and Key Bridge traffic will have detours. In addition, several street parking areas will be restricted, so pay attention for temporary no parking signs. So, Craig, get your shoes on.
All right, the Let Freedom Run.
Yeah.
I like that one. Okay, we'll be back with our CBB file right after we hear from Adele Quo, and it's
Easy Being Green.
Here's Adele.
Hey guys, good to be back with Adele Quo and Joe Tree Frog here.
Joe. Hi, Joe.
We are going to be taking you on a tour of trash homes around the world about once a month. From U.S. architect Michael Reynolds, his eco-friendly Earthship homes made from garbage, we're going to cross the Atlantic to investigate the Waste House at the University of Brighton in the UK. Designed by architect Duncan Baker Brown, Duncan combines his practice with teaching at the University of Brighton. When Duncan peers into the future of housing, it's all rubbish. The architect says that for every 5 houses built in the UK, the equivalent of one house in waste material goes to our landfill. And what makes it even worse is that much of it is still perfectly usable. So the Waste House is Europe's first public building made from discarded materials. Turns out the ruffled exterior is salvaged carpet tiles, hung with their waterproof underside facing outwards, and blowtorched on site to satisfy the building inspector. Stepping inside, the rooms could pass for a normal home. But the white painted walls used leftover paint on the damaged and returned sheets of plasterboard that look brand new, and little peephole windows show what's going on inside the walls, revealing piles of toothbrushes and stacks of video cases or cassettes used as insulation. 20,000 toothbrushes came from a company that cleans planes after long-haul flights that would otherwise end up in the landfill. And the DVD cases and VHS tapes came from all the video rental shops that seemed to be closing down during the construction of the project. The upstairs peepholes reveal stacks of denim sourced from a local firm that imports jeans from China and slices off the legs to make cutoff shorts. The only brand new building elements are the triple glazed windows, wiring, and plumbing. This interesting project demonstrates and challenges the relationship between art, architecture, sustainable design, and the issues relating to sustainable development in the construction industry. So remember, it's easy being green as we tour trash homes around the world.
That's a
Nice.
great idea. I like that house. How many new homeowners, especially women, do you think would want to live in a house that's covered with
Yes.
carpet tiles?
I think it is a hard sell to a certain gender, but me, myself, I think it's beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
a great concept and a good idea because there's, I mean, millions of dollars of construction materials put in a dumpster every day around here.
Check out Duncan Baker Brown's website. His firm is actually putting their theory into practice, and the website's full of interesting projects.
Good stuff. Interesting. Thanks a lot, Adele.
Thank you, Adele.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, moving right along as promised now, our CBB, or Community Bulletin Board file. Well, in the wake of the country's recent racial unrest, the Arlington County Public Library is screening a timely movie. Arlington's hometown hero, Joan T. Mulholland, was a freedom rider and civil rights activist during the 1960s. You can learn about her by watching the movie An Ordinary Hero. True story of Joan Mulholland, That's coming up on June 27th from 2 to 4 in the afternoon at the Central Library. There's also a display about her life and her work with Medgar Evers, and that's near the circulation desk at the Central Library. So stop down and check it out. Daniel.
Something else to check about, Mr. Nolan, is did you know that you can skate for $1 on select dates
Boy, that's
at
a deal.
Ballston's
Wow.
Kettler Ice Rink? Well, on Friday, July the 3rd and Friday, August the 7th from 7:10 to 8:10 p.m. and every Tuesday from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. you can pay $1 to skate and even rent skates. Check out the schedule at kciceplex.maxgalaxy.net for any updates. Kettler Capital's Iceplex is at Ballston Common Mall, which is at 627 North Glebe Road, Suite 800. Craig.
And also in our CBB file, there's a couple of really nice concerts coming up at Le Baron. Le Baron Amphitheater has several exciting events going on this summer. You can bring a picnic dinner for you and your family to enjoy, and the great music as well, and other entertainment for free, FREE free at Le Baron. The amphitheater is located at 200 North Columbus Street. For more information, give them a call. Here's their number, 703-228-4712, or you can check the web arlingtonarts.org for more details on what's coming up at Le Baron. Speaking of Le Baron, Daniel.
Well, Craig, on Friday, June the 26th at 8 p.m., Mary Ann Redmond, winner of 24 Whammy Awards in several genres, including rock, pop, and roots. She has worked with singers including Mary Chapin Carpenter, the Pointer Sisters, and the Novell Brothers. Visit the website at maryannredmond.com to learn more. Craig.
And also at LeBaron on Saturday, this coming Saturday, if you're watching our Thursday night show, June 27, it's 8 p.m., singer, screenwriter, and songwriter, perhaps, and pianist, Andre Pais, I'm sure I've got that wrong, maybe not, will bring her mix of soul, blues, and pop to the amphitheater. Learn more about her at AndreaPais.com. More on Rubber Run.
Yes, and finally on Rubber Run on Sunday, June the 28th, starting at 6 p.m., the Arlington Philharmonic will host the second annual Pops for Pets. The event will celebrate Animal Welfare League of Arlington, that's AWLA. Dogs are welcome, so are donations. Correct.
Pops for pups.
Yes, that's awesome.
Okay, beautiful. All right, moving right along. Up next on this edition of the Arlington Weekly News is our News for Seniors file. Well, you can relive the bygone days of classic comedy. I'm sorry, that would probably be relive. The bygone days of comedy at Aurora Hills this Friday. Enjoy video and audio selections of these classics like The Honeymooners, I Love Lucy, Sid Caesar, Milton Berle, and more. Laugh together and share your own funny stories with Mike Bloom, who's a comedy book writer and former Disney writer. That's coming up Friday, June 26th from 10:30 to 11:30 in the morning at Aurora Hills. For more information, give them a call. Their number, 703, should be on your screen there, 228-4403. Daniel.
Well, Craig, you can hear the U.S. Army String Quartet in an intimate setting playing selections from Haydn and Mendelssohn. The free concert is sponsored by the Alliance for Arlington Senior Programs and is open to the public. The U.S. Army String Quartet will be playing this Saturday, June the 27th, 3 p.m. in the Black Box Theater at Kenmore Middle School, which is located at 200 Carlin Springs Road, Arlington, Virginia. For more information, just give them a call at 703-228-4744. Craig.
And also in our News for Seniors file, singing historian Roy Justice brings a fresh take to the background of your favorite patriotic songs. His true to history tales are engaging and playful. He's sure to have you sing it along with him. That's coming up Friday, June 26, from 11 till noon at Aurora Hills. For more information, give them a call. Here's their number, 703-228-7369. Daniel.
Well, Craig, Legal Services of Northern Virginia provides free, confidential legal assistance on a variety of issues. Social Security, Medicare and Medicaid, consumer and housing law, and insurance are just some of the areas that LSNV can help you with. There will be someone at Langston Brown Senior Center on June the 30th between 9:30 and 11:30 p.m. to help you, but you have to schedule an appointment. Call LSNV directly. That's at 703-778-6800 to schedule your appointment. And as always, we want to thank our own Judy Masabny. Thank you so much, Judy, for your hard work in these senior stories for this week and every week. Thank you.
And thanks to Judy and Nort as well.
And
our
Nort,
own Nort
yes.
Beckerman
Thank you, Nort.
has been helping with the News for Seniors stories.
Yes.
Well, our old friend Rich is due back with us here shortly, we hope, and we've been doing a continuing series of Rich Remembers. So here's the next installment of Rich Remembers.
Hi, this is Rich Masabny with the Arlington Weekly News. I think if I have any talent, and is that no matter who the person I'm interviewing, it's like after 5 minutes, it's like, or less, it's like I've known them forever. But I was always respectful. I mean, I would never, act like, I always knew my place. But somehow the celebrities I was interviewing, like Phyllis Diller, everybody knows Phyllis Diller, right? Poor thing passed away last year. But Phyllis Diller, now you know what Phyllis Diller looks like, don't you folks? With the hair and everything else and her laughing in such a manner. Well, I'll say this. I'll go on record. I want to see anybody can challenge me on this. I don't know anybody who was more refined and elegant than Phyllis Diller. I met her at the Casino Royale. I was going up there to interview her. You know, I used to cover the scene in Washington. I mean, I was all over the place. But Phyllis Diller was sitting at the Casino Royale, which was at 14th and 8th Street Northwest in the district, and she had a nightclub act, and they had arranged that I'd have 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes, something, to interview her, and she knew I was coming, expecting me, and all that, and I came by, and right away I could tell with her face and everything, the way she looked, she wasn't the Phyllis Diller that we all expect to see, you know, with the crazy hair and everything. And first thing she said to me, your last name, she says, is that a Lebanese name? I said, well, yes, it is. I mean, she says, well, I know so many Lebanese back, I forget, what's that, Ohio, is it? I know so many Lebanese friends of mine, whatever. Hugh Downs is a very good friend of mine. He's married to a Lebanese girl, going on and on. So we got friendly. I'd say for maybe 3 years, when she was anywhere in town, or not this town necessarily, but anywhere, Europe, she would send me a note, tell me where she is, what she's doing. Just kept up the relationship, and she was very, very nice. And no, I don't forget that. I don't forget that.
I hear standby.
All right, Phyllis Diller. All right, Rich remembers. Thanks,
Yeah,
Rich.
thank you,
and
Rich.
Phyllis Diller, boy, one of my favorites. And continue to feel better and get stronger every day, Rich. We need you back here with us. So
we do.
peace and feel better. Get back with us here soon. Thanks, Rich. Well, speaking of cursing in public, and we were, here's a news item, just a reminder, a news item that we missed here in our news segment. Cursing in public isn't just offensive in the streets of Arlington, it's also costly. Running afoul of public intoxication and profanity laws will cost you $250 for a fine for a first-time offender. Last year, county police arrested 4 people for their language indiscretions in public. In nearby Fairfax County, the punishment for the same crime was $117.
Wow.
And in Rockville,
It's a
it's a misdemeanor. So I guess if you're going to swear in public, if you feel you have the need to do that, maybe you should move to Rockville. I don't know. Not saying, just. But anyway, that's a reminder for cursing in public. So watch your profanity.
Yeah, watch your language.
It's a $250 fine for first-time offenders here in Arlington.
Yeah, what's the second
I
offense?
just thought we had to remind you about that. Okay, we're ready now. Another installment of Miriam Gennari and Sustainable Scoop. Here's Miriam.
Hi, and welcome to this edition of the Sustainable Scoop. Our region continues to be
That's your
recognized
problem.
for innovation and its technology startups. Joining me today is Dave McCarthy, founder and director of Potential Energy, and Rhea Lenster of Yuck Old Paint. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Now, I'm so excited about your organization. Rhea is one of your members, but tell me what Potential Energy is, or Potential Energy DC is, in terms of being an incubator for a small business. What does that mean?
Sure. First and foremost, an incubator we think of as a community. We saw a market niche here in DC where there was no real home for energy-related startups in their very early stages. So in a concept stage company, before there's any money involved, before there's any code written, before the first kilowatt hour has been produced. And there's no real home for those types of companies here in the DC metro area. And so that's what we're starting out with, is creating that community of like-minded entrepreneurs trying to solve energy and environmental problems together. And so we share resources, we share ideas, we share leads for sales and things like that. And we go through a bit of a standardized program for basic business training along the way.
So you've used your experience in business, being an entrepreneur yourself.
Yeah, a couple times over, and it's the kind of situation where you sort of learn these lessons with bruised knuckles along the way. And now I'm at a point where I'd really like to help companies not have to go through some of those lessons that I learned the hard way back when.
And
Yeah.
one of those companies joining us is Rhea. You started a company called Yuck Old Paint.
Yes.
So how did Yuck Old Paint get connected to Potential Energy, and what happened?
I think what's so great about being in the Arlington environment is I had heard about PEDC through the Arlington Chamber of Commerce. They have a wonderful Green Business Committee. It is a group of like-minded members of the chamber, and I had put an ask out there to my colleagues to say, hey, I'm looking for some new office space, but I'm preferably an incubator, and I wasn't aware yet of PEDC. But someone who's a green business consultant who's very familiar with Dave McCarthy and the operation introduced me to it, and I phoned up Dave. He answered right away, and I met him at the offices in Tyson's, and I just knew it was home. It was a place where I had to be. And a lot of it is because of the focus on the other startup companies that are also in the green energy space. And that's really important. There are other incubator companies in the region, in the Mid-Atlantic region, where they specify on broad-based technology. These are hardcore coders.
You wanted to be with your bubble bees.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you came there. What happened next? You just set up a desk and...
I think for other incubator companies that might actually be some of their experience, what I appreciate so much about being a part of Dave's group and PEDC is Dave was extremely proactive in following up with me and getting me to sit down and he's a very active coach. He's very much a coach as opposed to someone who is just directing people that are renting office space from him. So he wanted to make sure that, what were my weaknesses as a business executive? Where are my strengths? We looked upon and reviewed my history. I was in telecom for 15 years where I had extensive experience in branding, TV commercials, full-on global channel communications. That I know very, very well. I know how to build a brand. I know nothing about the financials. I just have a gut raw instinct that my business model is successful because the marketplace has responded so successfully to it. So how do I wrap the financial package around that to sell it to investors? That's my weakness, and that is where Dave has been extraordinarily helpful with me.
And Dave, when we spoke before, you talked about the 4 phases that a company finds themselves in. Rhea's might be a good example. Where
Sure.
was she in those 4 phases?
Sure. So the 4 phases, it starts with concept stage, where the company is really just forming their idea, getting the business set up from a legal point of view, and really doing a lot of customer discovery work to find out who the customer is and what the value proposition is for a company, long before any product gets delivered. Then companies go into a phase called demonstration or demo, or what we're starting to call it now is business case validation, where kind of a small customer sample, but they prove out what they're trying to get done and the value they want to offer to clients. So Rhea is in that next phase, which is called revenue, where the company's actually up and running, generating revenue, delivering services and products to clients. Then the final phase that we go through is called scale. And that's usually where companies will get a certain amount of financing to really blow the concept either nationally or internationally. And that's when you try to get that hockey stick moment for the companies going.
Right, so that's when you use your big contacts, pick up the phone and...
Yeah, but we want to make sure that the basis of the company is set really well. And they have a business case that's solid and people are willing to pay for it. Because I think what's kind of hurt the green space, energy, clean tech, and all of those things were a lot of very wide-eyed people saying, we're going to go out and change the world, and they didn't have a real business model, solid value proposition to go out into the world with. And Rhea is somebody that is in that environmental space that has a really good business plan together and a really good value proposition to get across to clients.
Absolutely, the investors want to see the green.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
People are coming around to see you, and you're having events all the time, and you're building membership. I believe you said you have 10 members right now?
That was a month ago. We're up to 12 already.
12, congratulations.
So, yeah.
So how can people get in touch with you and learn more, not just about your business, but also your members' businesses?
Sure, a couple of ways. One, Rhea mentioned that she picked up the phone and called me. I am always available for phone calls. We're trying to build a community, and part of that is being responsive to people and making sure you're available when somebody wants something. So my phone number, 703-629-3299. 4056. Call me anytime.
And we put your information up on the screen.
Okay, good.
And they can certainly watch you again on the Sustainable Scoop, because I have to have Rhea back here to talk more about her project.
Please do, because really the way we do this is we don't want PEDC to always be front and center. We want the companies who are our emissaries and our success stories to be out in front.
We will certainly do that. We'll put you front and center. And viewers, so be sure to tune in as we continue to focus on sustainable businesses. I'm Miriam Gennari. That's the Sustainable Scoop. Back to the news desk.
Doesn't have oxybenzone.
Oh, oxybenzone.
Great
Oh.
job, Miriam.
Thanks,
Thanks, Miriam,
Thank
and
you.
her Sustainable Scoop. We're chit-chatting here, but that's about a wrap for this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. Anything else to add before we go, ladies and gentlemen?
Have a good rest of the June.
Rest
Not
of
much
June.
left.
June is almost over, and we hope the heat wave goes out with June, and maybe it'll be a little bit milder,
Hopefully.
calmer,
Not as
calmer
humid, not as
weather for.
cooler July.
That's right.
But
we can only hope.
keep your fingers
You don't have a
crossed.
coat next week, or
Oh, no, I'm in summer mode.
Summer
now.
mode?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's the next couple of months. It's been so
Okay.
hot, I thought maybe I'd just dress down a little bit. You could do the same.
Oh,
but,
well, maybe next week.
fine. All right, well, we got to go. So thanks to all of you for watching. If you're there next week, we'll be here and we'll do it all again. Have a safe week. Take care. Bye-bye.